here and get the purple skull. Welcome and welcome back, everybody. It's Tia here, and in today's video, I'll be doing a solo playthrough of a wallet game called Antinomy by designer John Belushi. During the video, I will give a tutorial about how the game is played. Be sure you stick around for the end of the video, where I'll share a review of my thoughts on the game in general. And as always, if you haven't already, feel free to subscribe down below and like. It's free and it really helps out the channel. But without further ado, let's get started. So here's a game of Antinomy set up and ready to play. During the course of the game, we'll be moving alongside a continuum into the future and past in order to collect relics. Once we have 3 relics of the same color, same number, or same shape, we'll be able to form a paradox. Our goal is to achieve 5 paradoxes before our deck runs out. So for setup, you're going to first shuffle all the relic cards together, set 3 off to the side for your hand, and 9 out to form your continuum. You'll take an additional relic card, placing it face down, rotated counterclockwise, form our codex. And then any other remaining relic cards will be shuffled together with the depleted relics and sunflares and placed down in our deck. You're then going to look at the card that is furthest left on your continuum, and you're going to place a paradox crystal on your codex based on that color of card. Your sorcerer staff will go on underneath a color of that card anywhere in the continuum, and then you will place the other sorcerer staff off to the side with 3 paradox crystals on it to act as a timer. So on your turn, you're going to do one simple thing, and that is to play a card from your hand. If you utilize the card to go into the future, you are going to move that many spaces forward based on the number and swap the card from your hand out with the one that you move to. If you want to move into the past, meaning to the left of your continuum, then you are going to move to a card that has a matching color or shape and swap the card out. If you have not formed a paradox in this way, you are going to remove one of the counters from the opponent's staff card. If all 3 are gone, then you are going to be replacing one of these continuum cards with a card from the deck. If you have formed a paradox, then you are instead going to discard a card from your hand first and replace it with a card from the deck. And then, provided that you have 3 cards of the matching color, shape, or number that do not include any cards with the color shown on the codex, you will be able to swap them out for 3 cards on your continuum to the right or the left of your sorcerer's staff. That's all you need to know to get started, so let's just go ahead and jump right in. Okay, so currently the color showing on our codex is green, so we are not allowed to utilize green cards to form a paradox. Right now I have a green 3 skull, a purple 4 skull, and a blue feather. So what I could try to do instead is potentially get some of these purple cards into my hand so that I could form a purple paradox. Let's see. So we might as well get rid of this green 3. So I'm going to use it for the value to move in the future, 1, 2, 3, and the cards will swap out like so. Since I don't have a paradox formed, I'm going to remove my paradox crystal from our timer card. Okay, now this sets me up to be in a pretty good position because I can use the feather on the blue feather card to move back to a feather. And we'll remove another crystal. And then I can use this 3 ring to move back to the ring. So now that I have 3 matching purple cards, I can form a paradox. So the first thing that I'm going to do is take my paradox crystal, 1 of 5 for my win condition. We're off to a good start. And then I'm going to choose one of these cards to discard. Now we will be playing with the Reliquary Mode. This is completely optional, but it's an extra challenge to try to discard 1 of each color, number, and shape within a sum of 5 cards before the end of the game. So I think based on what I'm seeing here, there are a lot of 4s out, so I want to keep the 4s. We only have 2 feathers. Oh, we do have 3 feathers and we have 3 rings. So I think I'll go ahead and get rid of the 1 ring because I only see 1 other 1 card out. So that seems like it will be the least helpful at this particular point in time. I'm going to take a card off the top of the draw pile, and then I'm going to shuffle up my hand. Now, I would normally be able to choose to replace the cards in the future or the past, but since there's only 1 card in the past, I cannot obviously swap out 3 cards. So these 3 will become my new hand. I'll place these 3 out in a random order, and the codex will advance by 1 mark. Okay, so now we are not allowed to use purple cards, which is fine because I don't have any anyway. I'm wondering if we could get skulls. If I move 1, 2, 3, I could get a blue skull, or maybe we could go for blues. It's gonna be more of a little bit of a long con, I think, for this one, unless I use this green to go back here, and then I can move 1, 2, 3, 4 to get a blue, but then I still wouldn't be able to get my last blue. So This is like a game that is so simple in what you do on your turn, but you really have to plan ahead in order to be successful. And again, if this deck runs out, we've lost the game if we haven't formed 5 paradoxes by that time. And for Reliquary Mode, having the bonus of the extra 5 cards. So let's see how that goes. We do have a lot of keys in the future, but I can't quite reach them at this point in time. So what I think we'll do is we'll start working towards getting some blue cards. So 1, 2, 3, like so. Okay. And then since we haven't formed a paradox, this will happen. So we're going to flip over a card from our draw pile, and it is a 3 feathers. So I can replace any card in the continuum that is either a 3 or that has a feather. Oh, which is not great because these are some of the cards that I really want to get. Maybe let's get rid of this 4 red, since all the way at the end, it would be very hard to get to anyway. Okay, then these will reset. Next up, we have 2 blues. If I use a 1, I could get 3, 1, 2, 3, and then I would have the feather, which would bump me back here. So that's not great either. Probably should have thought that through a little bit more. What are our other options? Trying to get skulls. I did have some skulls. Purple. Okay, well, I could go here to get this key icon. Since I have a key, let's try that and see where we go. 1, 2, 3, boom, boom. Then we remove 1 from here. Okay, and let's see. I have 2 keys. The other key is here. If I can match a purple or a key, but I don't, so that's great. I could also move back to this 4 skull. 1, 2, 3, 4. That would put me 1 away from the key. That doesn't help either. What else could we do? We could place this 1 to get the feather and then come back to the feather. That would actually work. Okay, so 1 to move 1 into the future. Don't forget to move our crystal off of our timer. And then I'm going to play the feather for the icon and move back to a feather. Boom. Okay, so now I have to get rid of 1 of these. I know I have less 4s because I put a 4 up there. So maybe let's get rid of this 4 blue key. Draw 1. Okay. Oh, don't forget our crystal. And these are going to get shuffled up and placed out onto the continuum. So we have to take these 3 in this case. 1, 2, 3. And this is the solar flare card. So these cards can't be held in your hand. So basically you can't like move to them since they don't have an icon. But they can be removed by replacing them with a 1 or a 3 card from the relic deck. And let's advance our codex. Okay, what do we have now? 3 green skull, a 3 purple key, and a 2 red skull. All right, so, and we can't use reds, which is unfortunate because I have quite a few skulls. But what I can do is place this skull to go back to this skull here, like so. Okay, and then we're going to replace the card out here. I think I'm going to replace the solar flare. The solar flare card does not count towards the reliquary if we're doing reliquary mode. However, you know, that's fine. And then we're going to get rid of this 3 card to move 1, 2, 3 to grab another skull. Since I have 3 skulls that are not red, since that's the color showing on our codex, we formed another paradox. So I have to start by getting rid of 1 of these. I already have 1s and 4s. And again, in order for me to win with this reliquary mode, I have to have all colors and shapes and numbers represented. So did I forget to put these on from before? We'll see about that. Take my crystal, advance 1. I should probably do it in the same order every time so I don't confuse myself. So now the question is, do I want these 3 cards to the left or these 3 cards to the right? I can't really use blues, so I think I want these 3 cards to the left. It's the first time we actually get a choice. Hey. Alrighty, let's shuffle them up. This game is really nice because it's very quick, and the 2-player version, like, you have clashes if you end up on the same point in the continuum, but I think I definitely enjoy this one solo. It's a really great little puzzle. I'm honestly surprised I haven't sleeved it yet, which is good for the video, not great for utility and playing it. Alrighty, let's see. We have 3 of our 5, and we're making good progress on our reliquary. So let's see, no blues, but if I get another feather, which I can get very easily, 1, 2, then we'll form another paradox. So I'm going to take my crystal. I'm going to advance my codex. I'm going to get rid of one of these cards. So far, we have all 4 colors. We have all 4 shapes, but I don't have a 2. So I'm going to get rid of this purple 2. So we've now met our reliquary goal. You can only have 5 cards in your reliquary, by the way. So if we were to add more, we would have to either discard one that's there already or just discard that next card. Okay, and draw one for our hand. Again, we don't have a choice because they're all right here. We'll shuffle these up. Not gonna lie, I'm not very good at this game. This has definitely been some lucky draws in terms of like which cards I get into my hand at what time. It normally does not go this smoothly. Alrighty, so we have a blue skull, a blue feather, and a purple key, and we cannot use green cards. Is there any way for me to get a blue? There's not even another blue out here, so that's out of the question. Could we get skulls, potentially? If I move back here and get the purple skull, then I could move up 3, but I couldn't reach this one very well without discarding. It might be a little convoluted, but I think we're going to try it that way. My other option, there aren't 3 keys out, so that's not going to work either. So I think we have to go for skulls. I'm going to get rid of this purple card to move back in our continuum. We'll see what happens when this runs out. And then I'm going to move ahead 3. 1, 2, 3. Again, adjusting our timer. And then I need to get this skull. I can move forward 1. Oh no, that is not what I wanted to have happen. I think we just have to try it. There's probably an obvious, easy solution. Let me know down in the comments below how badly I screwed up. Okay, drawing a card. Ooh, our timer's running out. And it is a 1 key card. I could replace, there are only 2 cards left. Ooh, so we might not even win. But there are quite a few keys out. So maybe if I replace a 1, I could go for keys, but I don't think there's enough time. And I need that skull. There aren't enough feathers, so I'm gonna replace this one. Again, I could get rid of one of these other cards or just discard this one for the reliquary, since it only can hold 5 cards. Okay, what are we doing? We're trying to get one of these 2 skulls. I have to move back because these numbers are too high for me to move forward. So the question is, do I want to move back to this purple 3? Do I want to move back to a feather 3? And there are no skulls. So I guess I have to go to the feather 1, 2, 3, which will put me here, which then I can move back here and then get nowhere. Back to the key. Oh no. What is happening? We might be stuck in a bad spot on our continuum because that solution will lead us back to purple key. And purple key did not seem good. So I guess we'll just start with purple key. Oh no. Y'all, what's happening? See, the second I start to get cocky and be like, yeah, it never goes this well, is when everything falls apart. Okay, let's see, what were we doing? Moving ahead 3, potentially? I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4. What happens if I just move the 4? Then I get a blue skull? No, that's not good. None of it's good. Oh, Lord. Yep, let's just try it. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Then we remove another one. And then 1, 2, 3. I think we have to take this burning key. Maybe we could get keys. Probably not, but let's see what we can do. That solar flare is really getting on my nerves because you can't take it in your hand. It's just like a dead spot in the continuum. Let's move our 1, 2, 3 here. Okay, Okay, and then we get a card. Ah, and there's only one left after this. Help! It's a blue ring. We could go for blue, but it's not super helpful. Maybe I will replace this red ring. Again, I'm not gonna put it in the reliquary. It's gonna set it to the side. Okay, what am I doing? Come on. You have 3 moves to make a paradox. Come on, Tia, think. Oh, my poor brain. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm just gonna post the video as is. Y'all can tell me what the winning solution is, and then we'll come back with a part 2 next week. Huh? What do you think? Let's see. And now I'm like in panic mode. I'm just talking to stall because my brain is like at 0 synapses firing per minute. Okay, I have 2 keys. If I move back to the skull, I can't get to this key in time. I also have a skull with things here. I don't think I can get those. I could get another skull here, and then I can't take the sun, so I would have 2 of the 3 skulls, not enough. My other options, I could move back to this red skull. And then, oh, that's it, red, boom, okay. Oh my gosh, and then purple, right? Yes, because we can't use green, but there are no green skulls. Boom. Oh, just in the nick of time. So we get our 5th crystal. And our reliquary is complete with numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. We have all 4 icons, and we also have all 4 colors represented. Oh, so there you have it. That is a solo playthrough of Antinomy from designer John Belushi. This game originally came out as a 2-player game, and while I did quite like it at 2, there is a lot of memory involved in terms of what cards are in your opponent's hand, as well as what cards they're swapping out with. So for somebody like me who has a terrible memory, I definitely prefer this as a solo puzzle game where you have pretty much all the information that you need at any particular time right out there in front of you. It does take a little bit of time to ascertain which cards are in the deck versus which one is in the codex, but you always have a working idea of what you have going for you, and especially playing in Reliquary Mode where you have your discarded cards laid out, you can really just clearly get a big picture of where everything is and piece everything together to get the most efficient turns. Overall, this game is easy to learn, but very hard to master, and there are different difficulty levels. You can play with or without the Reliquary Mode. You can have different amounts of crystals on that timer card, or you can try to get different numbers of paradox crystals in order to win the game. Overall, this is just one of my favorite little solo puzzle games, and again, for the size and the price of the game, you really can't beat it. So overall, if you're like me and you like really quick, really chunky little brain-burning puzzles, be sure to check out Antinomy and the solo player expansion. That's all the time we have for today. As always, feel free to subscribe and like this video if you enjoyed the game, if you enjoy the content, if you want to see more. Hey! Thanks so much for being here, and I'll see you next time. Bye!